Yo, what's up guys, Hyperion MC, and today we have a short video on Ender.io inventory panels which has recently been added back into the game. So in this video we will walk you through some of the changes which has been made and also how to set up and use the panel in the latest release of Ender.io. Okay, so while most of the mod setup has remained the same, some things have changed. The biggest change between the 1.10 version and 1.12 version is that the setup no longer uses remote awareness upgrades in item conduits. Instead, it now uses a new data conduit which is only available when inventory panel is installed. So the basic setup remains exactly the same, which consists of inventory panel, the new data conduit, item conduit, a fluid conduit, something to store fluid in, and of course nutrient distillation. And the Yeta wrench is optional, but you might want to keep it on hand while doing your setup. Next, let's take a look at the functionality of the panel. Not much has changed except for the crafting recipes, which has been expanded now to 10 slots, and they are also now stored in buttons instead of in slots. The rest of the setup remains exactly the same, and one other small change is made inside the GUI itself, which simply shows you when the panel has no connection and when it is out of fuel, unlike previous versions that only showed when the panel was out of fuel. So here we have a basic inventory setup which consists of a chest, the item and data conduits, as well as a tank containing nutrient distillation and a fluid conduit. Okay, so to demonstrate the setup, I've taken over this poor villager's house and he is now homeless. Your basic setup will start by placing down the inventory panel itself, then connecting up a data conduit and make sure it is set to enabled. Next, you want to connect the item conduit and set it to extract only and always active. Lastly, you want to connect your fluid conduit, which you only want to set to insert. Just for the purposes of this video, I will be using a tank and filling it up with nutrient distillation, but you can store it any way you wish and in any form you wish. So the last part of the setup to actually get started with the inventory panel is to connect it to an inventory. For the purposes of this video, I will be using a simple vanilla chest, but any mod including an inventory that is exposed as a capability is supported by the panel. To finish up the setup, we simply hook up the item conduit all the way to the chest and set it to insert mode. This is for the return area on the panel so that the items can be delivered back to the chest. The final part of the setup is simply hooking up the data conduit and making sure it is set to enabled. Heading back over to the panel, you will notice that the panel is no longer offline and you can actually now place items inside the panel. Sometimes these take a minute to update, but they will eventually disappear from the GUI. One last thing worth noting is that the new config option in inventory panel makes it fall down like a block of sand when it isn't placed on top of a solid surface. I have it disabled at the moment, that is why the panel is actually staying on the wall. To disable or enable the setting yourself, simply head over to mod options, Ender.io, config, Ender.io inventory panel, inf panel, and scroll down to the bottom and disable or enable the specs gravity. And there you have it. That is the basics of setting up the Ender.io inventory panel in Minecraft 1.12. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.